Hello, friends. Welcome back. Today's story is about a boy who wanted to catch the wind so that he could be free. Let's begin. Once upon a time, in a village surrounded by an open field, there lived a young boy named Leo. Leo was a cheerful and curious child who had an insatiable thirst for adventure. His days were filled with running, climbing trees, and playing hide-and-seek with his friends. But above all, Leo had a deep love for the wind. He would lie on the soft grass, close his eyes, and imagine the wind as his friend, whispering secrets to him as it caressed his face. One day, as Leo was playing in the field, he noticed a butterfly fluttering around him. It was a beautiful creature with wings that seemed to dance in the breeze. Leo, filled with the spirit of adventure, decided to follow the butterfly, hoping to discover where it would lead him. As he followed the butterfly deeper into the field, he began to feel a sense of unease. The sky, which had been clear and sunny, became overcast with dark clouds. The gentle breeze turned into a strong wind that made it difficult for him to stand upright. Suddenly, the wind grew stronger and started to spin around him, forming a small tornado. Fearful but determined to conquer his fears, Leo stood his ground. As the wind swirled around him, he closed his eyes tight and wished for it to stop. Just then, a wise old woman appeared before him. "Why are you trying to fight the wind, child, when you can become one with it?" she said calmly. Confused, Leo asked, "How can I do that?" The wise woman smiled and gestured for him to close his eyes and listen to the sound of the wind. "Can you hear it, Leo?" she asked. "It's the sound of your own inner strength and freedom. You have the power to control the wind within you, but you must first learn to listen to it." Leo hesitated, but then he took a deep breath and closed his eyes. He could hear the sound of the wind all around him, and for a moment he felt a sense of calm wash over him. When he opened his eyes, the storm had disappeared, and the sky was clear once again. The wise woman had vanished too. Left alone in the field, Leo realized that the true power of the wind lay not in its ability to cause storms, but in its capacity to bring about change and growth. He understood that the wind was a symbol of his own inner strength, and that by listening to it, he could find peace and balance in his life. From that day forward, Leo approached the wind with a newfound respect and understanding. He no longer tried to fight or control it, but instead embraced it as a part of his journey. He learned to use the wind to help him grow, to challenge him to be his best self, and to remind him of the beauty and unpredictability of life. And whenever he felt lost or uncertain, he would close his eyes, listen to the sound of the wind, and remember the words of the wise old woman. You have the power to control the wind within you. There are times in our lives when we may feel like we're being tossed around by the winds of change. We might feel scared, confused, or even helpless in the face of these challenges. However, it's important to remember that just like Leo, we have the power to control the wind within us. This inner strength can help us navigate through difficult situations and come out of them stronger and wiser. Have you ever experienced a time in your life when you felt like you were going through a lot of changes or challenges? How did you cope with those tough times? Perhaps you talked to a friend or family member, sought help from a mentor or role model, or simply took some time to reflect on your inner strength. Whatever you did, remember that you are not alone. We all face challenges in life, but it's how we choose to respond that truly matters. In Leo's case, he learned to listen to the sound of the wind and to find comfort in its rhythm. This helped him to find peace and balance in his life, and to use the wind as a source of strength rather than fear. Similarly, when we face challenges, we can choose to focus on the negative aspects, or we can choose to see the opportunity for growth and learning. It's up to us to decide how we respond to the winds of change. As children, we often feel powerless in the face of the world around us. We depend on our parents and caregivers for everything from food and shelter to emotional support and guidance. However, as we grow older, we slowly begin to realize that we have the power to shape our own destiny. We have the ability to make choices, to take action, and to create the life we want for ourselves. For example, when Leo decides to follow the butterfly, he is taking a risk and stepping outside of his comfort zone. He doesn't know where the butterfly will lead him, but he's willing to explore and discover. Similarly, when he chooses to listen to the wise woman's advice, he is opening himself up to new possibilities and perspectives. He could have easily dismissed her words as the ramblings of a crazy old woman, but instead he decides to give it a try. These moments of courage and curiosity help Leo to grow and develop as a person. They allow him to discover new strengths and abilities he never knew he had. It's important to remember that we all start at different places in our journeys towards self-discovery and empowerment. Some of us may be naturally more curious or adventurous, while others may be more cautious or reserved. However, it's never too late to start exploring and discovering the power within ourselves. With each step we take, with each choice we make, we are creating our own path towards independence and self-reliance. So don't be afraid to take risks, to explore new things, and to trust in your own abilities. You never know what you might discover about yourself in the process. Sometimes what we're looking for is already inside us. We just need to find a way to tap into it. In Leo's case, the power he needed to control the wind was already within him. He just needed to learn how to access it. Similarly, we may already possess the skills, knowledge, and resources we need to achieve our goals, but we may not realize it. We may be so focused on what we lack or what we need to do differently that we overlook what we already have. For example, in the story, Leo could have easily given up when he realized he couldn't outrun or outsmart the wind. He could have felt defeated and discouraged, but instead he chose to sit down and reflect on his situation. It was this moment of stillness and introspection that allowed him to hear the sound of the wind and to realize its true power. As we wrap up today's story, let's take a moment to reflect on the lessons we've learned and apply them to our own lives. Have you ever experienced a time when you felt like you were chasing something that was already within you? How did you overcome that challenge? What did you learn from the experience? Sharing our stories and experiences can not only help others, but also remind us of the progress we've made on our own journeys. If you enjoyed today's story, please don't forget to like, comment, and share with your friends. We would love to hear your thoughts and ideas as well. So go ahead and let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching and for joining us on this wonderful adventure. Until next time, remember to stay curious, keep exploring, and always believe in the power of your own inner wind.